We're talking tasty, family-friendly food today with the award-winning Treehouse Tavern, thanks to owners Lee and Scott Markham. Hi, Scott. Hi, Lee. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast today.
Hi, thank you.
Thanks for
Absolutely. Now, readers first met you and the Treehouse Tavern in our July-August 2023 issue, highlighting creative tavern-inspired fare, barbecue, and more found in the family-friendly Bent Mountain space. It must have resonated because our readers later recognized you in multiple categories in the Roanoker's 2024 Dining Awards Reader Poll. And I'm going to list these because it's a few, because you guys rocked it. So you had silver for best barbecue, best wings, bar where everyone knows your name, best pet-friendly patio, best place for lunch, a silver tie for best chili, gold for restaurant with can't-miss daily specials, and of course platinum of the big guys. And you guys got platinum for not only best Roanoke County restaurant, best hidden gem, and best outdoor dining, but you also won platinum for best family-friendly restaurant and a platinum tie for best new restaurant open within the last 18 months. Phew. That's awesome. Congratulations. That's so wonderful.
Thank you.
And so we knew that was something really special when, we saw those awards go to you guys. And it's really always amazing to see a new restaurant make such a crazy big impact on the community. And so we knew we had to send our dining photographer, John Park, out for a variety of shots. And so the team took one look at that great Italian sub sandwich, which if you're watching our YouTube, you can see in the background here. And we knew it was our cover for our dining issue, our November-December cover. And so, who doesn't love a great sandwich? Yeah. So congratulations again on the many recognitions. And it's so wonderful to have you guys here to learn more about your restaurant. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So in thinking about all the things that sets your restaurant apart, because everybody says that they're family friendly and, they offer a variety of things, and you guys really serve that up. I mean, literally and figuratively. And so I'm curious about how you approach making dishes that resonate with the community in such a way.
Well, by virtue of being the only restaurant in the area, that gives us a lot of advantages. Mm-hmm. But our goal is to really try to include traditional tavern fare with the classic comfort foods, kind of with our own spin on things as well, and providing some unique specials that are not the typical what you would always think of. That gives a little variety and gives people something to look forward to, mm-hmm. or guessing what's going to be next. But we try to make every version of that the best that we can, even if it's as simple as grilled cheese.
Yeah.
So.
Well, who doesn't love a grilled cheese too? I would eat that right now at 10:30 in the morning. That's really fantastic that you're thinking about, I love the Can't Miss Daily Specials category. That's always really cool because it means you need to come back. Even if you're a regular and you're there all the time, you got to come back because you got to know what's coming up. Do you guys do like seasonality, ingredients, and things like that when you're thinking about your menu items?
Absolutely. Especially when it's appropriate. The seasonality is what gives it kind of our signature or flair up mm-hmm. there out on the mountain, with as much local produce that's available. So, we're finally hitting our stride, I guess, trying to incorporate more of that. The vegetable aspect of things is really one that we can capitalize on now.
Yeah, all the kids need their veggies, so, and that's great. So we actually, in this same episode, in our dining episode, you're going to meet Thornfield Farms owner, Susanna and Alex, and so talking about how restaurants are working with local farmers and getting produce around the area is so important, critically, both to our region and, of course, to your own diners and interests, so that's fantastic. In talking about the great food, and talking about that community with the farmers and the community, how do you engage with your diners? What's your role in terms of creating that community space for them?
Well, I think, we kind of wanted to have, and it took a while for it to really, come together, but we were looking for a, local bar, restaurant, tavern style, where everybody felt comfortable. Our always famous tagline of where everybody knows your name. Mm-hmm. That's what really means a lot to us, because without the local support, we wouldn't be as successful as we are, and we couldn't have done it without them. Mm-hmm. by no means. But it's just the community is something that until you're the only one and the only option, you really understand how important it is to make that commitment. Mm-hmm. and commit to the community, and then as long as you commit to them, they can return the favor. So,
absolutely.
But it was funny, when we first opened, nobody would sit at the bar. Everybody was in the dining room. And I asked one of my servers, I said, why doesn't anybody sit here? And now there's never an empty seat, it seems like, at the bar. So
did you do something different, or was it just learning?
It just took time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it was immediate. There was just I guess nobody was I felt comfortable to just jump into the bar or something. But it did, it grew, and we changed up the seating so that it's, I think it's a better mix of seats in the bar area.
I like the evolution. You realized something would help, and so you immediately fixed that, and now look, it worked out. So.
Absolutely.
Well, and I think it's interesting that you were looking for flavors, menu space that would be comfortable for you and for your family. You have how many kids? I know you have a baby.
3 kids.
3 kids. So of course you're thinking about them in the middle of your day too. I think that that's a really neat part that you've incorporated your own personal life into your business.
Yeah, I mean, I think our own family really is the inspiration for most of the stuff we do there. Having the baby this year, I'm there working way less than I thought I would be, but that means I bring our family there so we can see Scott. So I kind of get to see it from the perspective of a diner, a mom bringing her kids. So I'm always adding stuff, and I mean, just stuff as simple as like a stool in the bathroom so they can wash their hands without the mom having to hold them.
Yeah, but that's so perfect because some people might overlook that. I mean, I don't have kids. I've got a dog, and I would never think about something like that as a business owner. But like, what an important part of a mom going, thank goodness I have, this tool that I can use while I'm out and about trying to enjoy just a regular dinner with my family.
Yeah.
Well, we have plenty of dog bowls for the outdoor.
Oh, perfect. Okay, good. Yeah, because you did get the patio. So. Yeah. Perfect. And so, you've mentioned that this is a key part of your identity, the family-friendly style, and something that we certainly learned a lot about in our July-August issue when we talked to you guys. And so, you talk about an ambiance for the patrons of all ages, right? So you're catering to, what's the phrase, birth to 90, 2 to 90 or whatever. And so, how do you start that? How do you decide, I really want to make this a family-friendly space?
I mean, we said that from day one.
I think
everybody had a hard time seeing our vision in the back area where we've really, excelled with finally completing all the projects. But I don't know, a lot of not just persistence, but some really good fortune and some good people that we've met that help. John Rothert has been instrumental in helping us build everything out in the back. So.
I think that outdoor space, I mean, for us, we've always looked for places with an outdoor space. I mean, kids are almost always happier outside. So we've really put a lot of effort into that area to make that comfortable for everybody. And we've seen with our friends and regulars that come, now that there's a fenced-in area, they can sit on the patio and their kids can run. And we've seen what a difference that makes from when they sat or trying to sit inside and stay at the table. And,
right. You're not chasing your kids down like they can stay in a safe space, and you don't have to worry necessarily.
Yeah, it's much more relaxing for everybody.
No names, but the one in mind, a dad came in, and it was the first time I saw him sitting enjoying himself at peace, and his kids are over on the other side of the patio fence just playing and having a good time. Yeah. Meanwhile, the previous experience is indoor, the traditional at the table, what are they going to do,
Yeah. Now he gets to eat his french fries hot when they're out.
Exactly.
And the moms, of course, I see so many, the moms, have to sit and juggle, and, now they actually might have a minute to eat properly when they want to.
That's the goal.
Well, I love that you're using your own family as inspiration for that because, you've already noted, but you really go in and see things from that perspective, which is very interesting and clever. I mean, just really smart to think about it that way. And like, what do your kids want on the menu, and how would they play in the space and things like that?
Oh, they have opinions too.
Yes, Scott might disagree with us showing up and having our opinions. But.
Well, kids didn't do that. And so, so we've talked a lot about the kids. So for somebody like me, you've already hit on the dog bowls. You've got me already. But, for adults to enjoy a meal, catering to those needs, thinking about preferences of menu items for everybody, because sometimes it's chicken fingers for life, and then other times you want a salad or whatever. You've got a variety of things. How do you cater to everybody? Because I've seen, Layla, our dining writer, she posted a picture of your nachos a couple months ago, and I'm still
talking about those nachos.
Still thinking about those things. Like, I can't wait to just put my face right into a plate of them. Oh my gosh. Like, how do you look at ingredients and menu items and think this is going to work for everybody? Like, what's your inspiration behind that?
I mean, I think just starting out with the equipment we had the pizza oven, the smoker, a grill. We've kind of got a lot of bases covered just by those particular items. But we really do put a lot of thought into making sure there are different priced items, small plates, bigger plates. I think a lot of times too, we think of how our family orders and we kind of like to split stuff. So you can kind of get creative with the menu, and like a lot of people order the sampler that has the ribs, wings, and barbecue as an appetizer.
My eyes just got real big.
So then you can get a pizza as an appetizer and, share a salad. So I think even though it's not really presented as a family style menu, it can kind of be broken down like that. I always like to share so we can taste as many things as possible.
That's me too. I want to eat everything on the menu, so I like the share is a great idea.
Staff input too. Can't be said enough about that. They're always thinking about new things, innovation, or just different combinations of what you already have. You can take X, Y, and Z and
we do a lot of kind of reorganizing the ingredients.
Yeah, like puzzle pieces.
Different dish.
Yeah, that's cool.
But it's always open to suggestions too from the staff.
I'm always fascinated by chefs and staff who, again, you look at 4 ingredients and you somehow create this like fantastic meal out of it because, that's my brain doesn't work that way. So it's always really interesting to hear how you're coming up with menu items that way. And so in thinking about how you expanded, your patio and you have all these opportunities to communicate with the community, are there any initiatives or events that you're organizing, even if it's not right now, maybe it's next year, you're thinking about ways in which you can sort of really integrate?
That's the event planning is kind of one of the things that's been put on the back burner this year. And I know we both feel like we have all these ideas and sometimes we just can't get to it. Whether it was because things were under construction or
new baby.
The baby didn't sleep. But we finished the outdoor space more towards the end of the summer than we were planning. So we're really looking forward.
It's so beautiful. Like it's so much more space than you realize.
So definitely live music. I think that's going to be a big draw.
Absolutely.
Well, not to mention during this season of like spring, summer, the Valley patrons can come up and experience a 10 to 12 degree cooler environment up there.
It really is a different
huge draw
atmosphere.
In summertime.
I didn't realize it was that big of a deal.
Yeah, it really is.
Cool.
And with all the construction finally completed, we have the sunshades providing during the summertime a break from the heat as well. So it's very pleasant. It really is.
Yeah, it sounds like you're going to be the place to be this summer with all the music and great food.
And so I can participate. I kind of need to plan around kids. So we definitely have some different kid-friendly events in mind. We had our daughter's first birthday party and had a musician come and do a little class, and that was really cute.
That's awesome.
And it was on the new patio, and everybody loved it.
The banquet was a huge success, I think. Our K-Spring 12 and under, proud Super Bowl champions. So.
Our son's football team, both of our son's football teams had their banquets there.
Cool.
So stuff like that has been really fun that
Absolutely.
involves the community and our own family.
Yeah, you're just going to be doing more of it.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. And so switching to a bit of a more difficult question, only because things are always changing in the culinary scene, particularly with food and pricing and things like that, the challenges that you guys face. So, your construction is done and everything's perfect and wonderful, but you're still going to have challenges ahead, right?
Sure.
So, and thinking about those challenges, staying ahead of trends and things like that, how do you guys do that? How do you guys stay on top of things, on trends, or thinking about what the next step is for yourselves?
Me or you?
I think we both can talk about this.
Yeah.
This year's been pretty much survival mode for a lot of it. So, like I said, we're kind of just now feeling like we can get ahead to plan. And as far as our menu, we really try to stick to the basics and do them well, but then use seasonality to kind of address the daily specials and ways to be creative. As far as I don't know that we're really follow food trends.
That's all right.
In my mind,
you're creating your own with those nachos.
Trends are the seasonal opportunities, and to me, that's the biggest opportunity to capitalize on is what the seasons can bring.
Yeah, that's a great point.
People really look forward to that. There's nothing better than the thought of an heirloom tomato BLT that you can get once it's available. waiting all winter, eating, those pale, stale.
I'll be first in line
tomatoes.
for the heirloom tomato BLT, by the way. That's like one of my favorites. No, and it's interesting because, like we have the Italian sub on the cover, and like we've had several people. We were at Stock Market a couple of weeks ago, and we had people coming up to the table because they were enticed by the colors, right? They see the green and the color, and they just walk up and they're like, I want to eat that sandwich so bad. And so it's interesting just to see like even that color can be sort of a trend because it's capturing their attention. They want to see something really nice on a plate, and it's going to be a delicious sandwich they're going to think about all week.
Yeah, and I mean, I think like holidays have kind of driven a lot of specials. We started doing Reubens and corned beef and cabbage around St. Patrick's Day, and that just lasted a long time because everybody loved it.
Yeah.
Cabbage is a popular item up on the mountain.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's well known for the. I guess
Bent Mountain
they
is
say
known
it's
for
the
their
soil.
cabbage.
I did not know that. Okay. Well, thank you for teaching me something new. I'll have to look into that. That's interesting. Well, cool. Are there, in addition to the patio and things, is there anything that you guys are like really particularly proud of? I mean, obviously you've survived the year, you've gotten through it. That is definitely something to be proud of. But anything else that you guys just really can't wait to shout to the moon about?
I mean, I think our outdoor space, that was the biggest challenge when we looked at it from the beginning, and it just seemed like it would never happen. And somehow, miraculously, we just persisted, and it came together. We can sit back and look at it. Now, granted, we need some fine-tuning and some, the little details, but the majority of the work that's been done on the outdoor space that we can finally hit, a season, a spring, summer in full stride and not have to, wait on this to be completed or that. So that's pretty exciting. Seeing the bar full, seeing
I think
the dining
just
room.
Seeing everything running smoothly. Like I said, when I show up as a customer and I see him just running from job to job, like serving food, talking to a customer, people come up and tell me how happy they are. I think just that general like feeling of being in our own restaurant, and just sometimes
the constant thank yous from the community is really satisfying. And it's just heartwarming when people just take the time to thank us for doing what we do and being there. And, until you make the drive up and down the mountain, 2-3 times a day, if you had to, like I have had to, you really begin to understand what a presence it is, because it gives people a local spot to gather, somewhere to go eat, somewhere to watch a football game or a hockey game or what have you. So it's just the opportunity, instead of having to go to, all the way to Floyd or all the way down the mountain, it's very satisfying to hear those compliments.
That's such a wonderful point. And for the readers who haven't read the feature yet, so how did you guys ever see yourselves owning a restaurant? I mean, was this something that you knew immediately from the get-go you wanted to do?
Yeah, we met working in a restaurant, and we've kind of been together since we met, so it really has always been a part of our plan. It just took a really long time.
No, that's all right, but you're here now, so that's what matters.
Yeah, but I mean, at this point, we really do feel like it was meant to be, and we ended up where we were supposed to be.
Yeah.
Well, and your experience brings a whole nother level of wonderfulness to your new adventure, because you were bringing that knowledge and wisdom from your past jobs and applying it to see how the things that you maybe didn't love in previous experiences, now you get to fix those for yourselves and really own it. So that's really exciting.
Yeah, I mean, and Scott had years of experience in food sales and payment processing that helps him every day now.
Absolutely.
So.
That sounds like a lot of math.
Yeah.
It's not a fun industry, payment processing. But in addition to that, just being able to handle problems, taking care of issues when they arise, and not having to necessarily call somebody unless it's an emergency where it's beyond your scope or skill set. But the can-do attitude and the mentality of being able to handle problems when they arise is definitely something I've learned over the years. You've got to have that. You have to possess that quality, because it'll eat you up financially and time-wise.
You sound like you have a pretty level-headed approach to it. So
that's where she comes in.
Well, it's good. Clearly you guys have a great partnership to be able to do all these things. I mean, you're running all these little facets, and then you're coming and seeing it from another point of view that allows you to build that in. I mean, that's really important. That's really critical. So what a wonderful partnership to be able to do that.
Well, we are very happy with it.
So obviously we talked a little bit about challenges. So you're talking about the wonderful things that you're facing head on. Are there any other challenges outside of maybe ingredients and food? I mean, the payment processing and things like that, you're the guy now that people call. Like, you don't call somebody, people call you. I mean, that's got to be a pretty big challenge some days.
Yeah. I think our biggest challenge is really getting the word out more than anything. We've been relying on a lot of local publications, social media. This is certainly getting the word out beyond, I can say from the past couple weekends after the articles have come out, we've seen a surge in new faces.
Oh, good.
That's definitely been there. But, after our son's football banquet, a lot of parents were saying, we didn't even realize you were up here. So, it's in this day and age of where you got to have it yesterday and everything's at your fingertips and you're still not known for your presence on the mountain as a restaurant, so we look forward to getting more of the word out to the locals.
Yeah, well, we're gonna help you out with that.
Absolutely. I think this might do it.
So we've talked about the wonderful milestones. I love that you mentioned people sitting at the bar and just thanking you, that community space that you're involving. Are there any other particular achievements or things that have happened this year other than surviving and getting through it that you're particularly proud of? I mean, obviously surviving is like such a key.
I have to really give a lot of credit to the staff. Without a strong staff, we could not do what we've done.
I mean, I'm proud of the fact that we have a lot of the staff that we opened with, which is pretty rare in an industry with such high turnover. So, I mean, I think that says something about us that they are sticking around. Yeah. But we're just really thankful to them every day because like I said, when I walk in and I see everything running smoothly, I know it mostly has to do with you're in charge and you're taking care of stuff, but they really step up and just do their jobs. And a lot of them have a lifetime of experience and it shows.
Yeah. And you're obviously offering them opportunities to participate with menu or, feedback and customers and things like that, which is, that's critical. I mean, a lot of servers don't get that opportunity.
Well, no, for sure.
We want them to stick around.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But it's always fun to, open up that dialogue and just get feedback because, after you do it day in and day out, you kind of get your blinders on and then you don't think about other opportunities. And so, asking for other, fresh ideas is always is critical.
Yeah.
But I think you asked about what we were proud of, right? I think we keep bringing up this football banquet, but it was over 100 people. So it was
That's not a small group.
It was a very big deal and just... It went very smoothly.
Yeah, everybody
a lot of nachos. Seemed really happy. The kids had a great time. So I think that really was one of our bigger moments where we felt like, we really pulled this off.
We could honestly, for the right, group or whatever, there's the opportunity that we could be a venue. So,
that was just kind of one that, like he said, you get with your blinders on and day to day and just get the food out and to remember like, we can stop and do this really cool thing.
Yeah. It sounds like the banquet was an aha moment. Like, there's so much even more we can do now. Yeah. I mean, really, truly. Cool. So the last bonus question I have for you guys, when you're not at the restaurant, which sounds like it's, slim to none, but where are you guys playing and going in the region with your family, especially? Where are you guys hanging out?
Oh, well, a lot of times we just make it down the mountain to El Rodeo.
That's all right.
Another great outdoor space.
We both grew up in Roanoke City, so we do really enjoy being downtown. We just don't get down there like we used to. Our two boys are much older than the babies, so we had a number of years that we really spent a lot of time taking them downtown all over. But I think, and now we're in between Roanoke and Salem, so we do go into Salem even sometimes, but I don't know, we really don't make it
as long as they bring the food to me and I don't have to do the dishes. That's usually the stipulation.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that seems like a pretty good rule for a restaurant owner.
Yeah, we have actually, our big treat lately has been Full Moon Cafe for breakfast.
Man.
He brings that home after he drops one off at school.
I'll just eat their chocolate chip cookies at 10 a.m. I don't care.
Yep, we just finished off the cookies yesterday.
Well, I love that. That's awesome. And it sounds like you're doing a lot of football and extracurricular activities too. So you're certainly busy in the community doing all those things as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, busy.
Yeah. Well, so where can people find you? Let's share where they're going to be able to find you on your website, your social, your address.
Actually, we have a brand new website.
Woohoo.
Finally, it's treehousetavernva.com. It's
still
also
evolving.
Yes, Treehouse Tavern VA on Instagram and Facebook. Mostly Facebook is where we update stuff. The website does have a space to buy gift cards, our menu, some pictures.
Cool.
That's one of our biggest challenges is trying to step up our retail and other various things that.
You're busy making food, like.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot of demand for the sauces and things like that, so we've.
Interesting.
Yeah, we would
really
love to add that element in this year.
All right, so when we talk to you next year, that will have happened.
Hopefully.
You'll be selling by the barrel, maybe.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, Facebook is where we do most of our updates. But we do have a website now, so that's exciting.
Perfect.
Never thought that would happen.
We'll send them there for the menu. I'm going to come by and get the nachos pretty soon because I swear I'm thinking about them weeks later, and Layla was like talking about how great they were, and I was like, okay, well, I'm a nacho fanatic, so
a good choice.
Yeah, and then of course the barbecue and everything else is going to be stellar. The pictures were awesome. We're going to share some more of those over on our website, and so of course you can learn more about Treehouse Tavern. Thank you guys so much for being on From Print to Podcast today. You were on our last episode 12 of our first season, so thank you for your time, and congratulations again on the mini dining awards that you guys you're proving a force to be reckoned with, and our readers I'm sure can't wait to get through the doors and taste your menu and all the other great stuff you've got coming up. It's going to be great.
Thank you very much.
Yes, what an exciting year, and only great more things to come in 2024. So thank you. Readers and listeners, you can learn more and read about the Treehouse Tavern, including the articles from our November-December issue, as well as the great feature we did back in July-August over on our website at theroanoker.com.